Welcome to the lecture. I am Priyanka Garaj. In this video, we will going to cover the topics like population and sample. Then we will see percentile, decile and quartile. Then we will see various measures of variation, that is the range, IQR, variance and the standard deviation. So let's start with the first one, that what is population and sample is. So what is population? So population is a collection of all items of interest to our study, and let's call it as the capital N. So we will call it as the parameters. So what is population? Suppose there are wide varieties of data available. I am taking the two categories, that whether you are interested to do a survey on the university data or whether you are interested to do the survey on the election data. So wide varieties of data are available in which data you are interested for. So you have to take the complete set of that particular interested domain. So it is called the collection of all items of interest to our study. Now, what is sample? So it is the subset of the population. Let's call it as small n, and what we call it as the statistics. Let it clear with one example. Suppose in 2014, close to 834.08 million people were eligible to vote in the Indian general elections. So there are very large number of peoples are there who are eligible to vote in the Indian general elections. So I will tell that what is the population size. My population size is equals to 834.08 million. So there are lots and lots of people who will vote in the elections. Now, what media and other organizations do? They collect the data to predict the likely winner of the elections through the opinion polls. But what the problem is? The problem is it is very difficult to collect the data of all the 834.08 million people. So what they will do? They will take the opinion polls from the people who are nearby or who are in their network. So it is difficult to reach out each and every people in the population size. So they will only contact the peoples who are in their network. So from the large population size, they are taking a small part of it, and they are taking the opinions of the small part of the population size, that is only some of the peoples, and from that they are indicating that what will be the result of the elections. So this is what my sample is, and this is what my population size is. So population size is very big and the sample size is very small. uh, it might get possible that 90% of the people in the sample belongs to party 1 and only 5% of the people belongs to party 2. But when we are considering the whole population size, then it might happen that 50% of the people are from the party 1 and 50% of the people are from the party 2. It means they will going to vote to party 1 and they will going to vote in party 2, that is 50-50, like that. So whatever results we are getting from the sample and whatever result we are getting from the population size, it may differ. Now we will see that what the percentile, decile and quartile is. So these three terms, that is the percentile, decile and quartile, are frequently used to identify the positions of the observations in the data set. The first term, that is the percentile, that you have heard when you are getting your results. So percentile score is frequently used in the education to identify the position of the student in a group. So what is percentile? Percentile is telling that how far you are from the student who is getting or who is with the highest marks. So how far you are from the first rank. So percentile is working like that. Now next comes is the decile. So decile corresponds to the special values of percentile that divides the data into 10 equal parts. That's why it is called as the decile. So the first decile contains the first 10% of the data, and the second decile contains the first 20% of the data, and so on. As we move on like that, 30%, 40%, 50% will be there. So this is the decile. So decile means it is dividing the whole data into 10 different parts, and like that only we have quartile. So the name only is telling that quartile means it is dividing the data into 4 equal parts, just as Q1, Q2, Q3 and Q4. Let's understand with one more example. Suppose this is my decile, and over here this is my graph. So I'm dividing my whole data into 10 equal parts. Over here in the x-axis it shows my total values. My value starts with, suppose value is 3, and my maximum value is suppose 50.8. Then I am dividing this whole data into 10 equal parts, and each part will be of 10%. So this is how my decile works. What is quartile? Quartile divides my data into 4 equal parts. So the first part will be of first 25%, second part will be of again 25%, third part will be of 25%, and like that we have the last part from the 75% to the 100%, we can say. So this is what all about the percentile, decile and quartile is. Now we will see different measures of variations. So let's see which are the different measures of variations are available. So the first one is range. Second one is the interquartile distance, that is IQD. You can also say it as the interquartile range. Third one is the variance, and the fourth one is the standard deviation. So starting with the first one, that is range. So what is range? Range is the difference between the maximum and the minimum value of the data. So let's understand with the example. Suppose this is my graph, and it is very necessary that your data is in the sorted order. So in the left hand side you must have the minimum value, and on the right hand side you must have the maximum value. So to identify the range of the data, it is very necessary that the data is in the sorted order. If the data is not in the sorted order, then first you have to sort that data. So over here my data is in the sorted order, so I'm directly calculating the range, that is maximum value minus minimum value. Suppose over here my maximum value is 50.8 and my minimum value is 3.78. So my range will be 50.8 minus 3.78. So it gives me answer as 47.02. So 47.02 is my range of the data. So this is how I am calculating the range. This whole graph in the x-axis, it shows the values of the attribute, or we can say the column name, that is the total bill, and the y-axis shows the frequency. Frequency means how many times that particular value is repeating in the whole data set. So we have to consider the values, and from the values we have to identify the maximum and the minimum value, and the difference of that is called as the range. Now next comes is the interquartile distance, or you can say is the interquartile range, that is IQR. So what it is the measure of distance between the quartile 1, that is Q1, and the quartile 3, that is Q3. So let's understand with example. Suppose I have the data from 0 to 100. So what is 0? It will be my minimum value. What is this Q1? In this Q1, the data between 0 to Q1, it is my first 25% of the data. The data between Q1 and Q2 is my second 25% of the data. So at Q2, I can say that it is my median because it is the half of the data and I have the half value, that is the 50 over here. Then this is my third quartile, that is the another 25% of the data. And this is my last quartile, that is from 75% to 100% of the data which lies in my last quartile, or we can say the fourth quartile one. So I'm giving this particular scale as range, and I'm giving the label as the first one as the minimum value, that is 0, and my maximum value is 100. Over here, this is my 25% of the data which completes here. So I'm giving the label as Q1. At 50%, I'm giving the label as Q2. At 75%, I'm giving the label as Q3. Then what is my IQR? That is the interquartile range. So it is my distance between, Q1 and Q3. So what is IQR? I can write the equation like this, that is Q3 minus Q1. And what are the outliers? That is, you have the range of the outliers. This square brackets indicates the range. So it has the formula like Q1 minus 1.5 into IQR, that is this value IQR, comma Q3 plus 1.5 into IQR. Now what the outliers are? Outliers are the data points who has the values which significantly differs from the other observations. Suppose we have the 99% of the observations which falls under 0 to 100 values, but there are some observations which falls outside this particular scale. Suppose I have only one observation, that is who is having the value as 101, and all other 99 observations are under the scale between 0 to 100. So that particular one data point will called as the outliers. What are the outliers? That we will see in detail when we see the topic, when we cover the topic related to the box plots. Now next is variance. So what is the variance? So variance is defined as the average of the squared difference from the mean. So this is what the formula of the variance looks like, that is the sigma square. So let's see that what is the variance is and how it is working. So over here I am having the example that you and your friends have just measured the heights of your dogs in millimeters. So I have measured the observations, and I have seen the observations of the 5 different dogs, and the observations, that is the heights at the shoulders, are the observations are given below, that is the 600, that is the height of the first dog, 470, that is the height of the second dog, just like that 170, 430 and 300, the height of third, fourth and fifth dog respectively. So this is what are my observations looks like. Now I will see that what is the variance and what is the standard deviation through this example. This red mark indicates that the height of each and every dog, so it is 600. So the red mark is like this, which shows the 600 in the scale on the y-axis. So the first step is to identify the mean. So what is mean? Mean means you have to take the average of all your observations. So how to take the average? You have to do the summation of all the observations divided by total number of summations. So I have all the observations like 600, 470, 170, 430 and 300 divided by my total number of observations is 5. So I am getting 1970 divided by 5, that is 394. So the mean average height is 394. So let's plot this on the chart. So this green line indicates the mean average height, that is the 394, that we are getting the value of the mean. Now we are calculating that each data point, I will call this red mark as the each data point. So I am calculating how far my each data point is from my mean. So I am getting the answer as 206 for the first data point, 76 minus 224, 36 and minus 94. So to calculate the variance, we will take all of this difference, we will square it and then we will average the result. So I am squaring all the observations that we are getting the difference, that is 206 square plus 96 square, then we are having minus 224, then square of it 36 square and minus 94 square. Divide by the total number of observations and what we are getting is called as the variance. So this is what my variance is. Now, what is the standard deviation? It is the square root of the variance. So I'm just taking out the square root of the variance and I'm getting the result as 147. Now, how the standard deviation is useful. So let's see over here. This is green line is my mean, and with the distance 147, that is the standard deviation I am getting. So above the mean, I am with this distance I am drawing another line, that is the blue line, and below this mean with the same distance of the standard deviation, that is 147, I am again drawing a second blue line. So what is this blue line indicates? It indicates that normally the height of the dogs falls under this range, that is the blue line range, that is it is indicating. So whichever the data points are above the blue lines and whichever data points are below the blue lines, it indicates that the height of the dog is either the extra large or the extra small, we can say. It is not the normal height. All the normal height of the dogs, it falls under this two blue lines. The data points which are above the blue lines and below the blue lines are indicating either the height is very large or it is very small. So this is how the variance and the standard deviation are useful to us. So what is standard deviation? In statistics, the standard deviation is the measure of amount of variation or the dispersion of a set of values that we have already seen. So it is the square root of the variance, we can say. So now it's time to a practice quiz. So write down the answers of all the questions and you can check your answers accordingly.